Hi Scorpio, welcome to your November 2016 Astro Tarot reading. My name is Charlotte from chastrology.com, and this month we'll be talking about the new moon that takes place October 30th at 7 degrees of Scorpio and the full moon that takes place November 14th in Taurus. Much of this month is going to be about new beginnings for yourself within your relationship. The new moon talks about you putting forth energy for a new beginning or a new endeavor that really plants the seeds for your own goals and dreams. And then by the 14th, you'll be more focused on how you interpret yourself within a relationship and what you commit to your relationship. And by the full moon on November 14th, I think you're going to really be concerned with your relationship, your partner, your parent, and, sort of discerning what it is that you give to your relationships and what it is that you receive in return. Now the first row that I have here depicts the new moon and the bottom row depicts the full moon. So the first thing that I see here in your reading is this sort of need to move through some energy, to move through this sort of trying time. This could be about the way that you're communicating with other people. You may just be concerned about the public in general. This is election season, so maybe you are highly focused on world activities. There's a celebration coming up in November or an important day where you're going to actually feel that you've made some progress. And this progress could be in areas related to media, legalities. But definitely there's a change. The wheel's turning. There's a change coming in November for you. And I think much of that has to do with relationships. There seems to be some, obstacles that could be concerning travel here in your reading. But I think your goal is to really find this contemplative part of yourself that is really in touch with your inner child and, sort of feels very at home. I'm getting a sense, almost what's synonymous with the holiday season here, where you're just really wanting to kind of go into this cocoon. But I think first you're definitely experiencing this sort of turning within your consciousness, where you're ready for a new chapter, you're ready for something new. You just got to get through a rough spell for a bit. And this was a great card. We have the Nine of Cups, which is really all of your wishes coming true. So if you've been stressed out with some financial matters, if you've been worried about a relationship that has something to do with financial security, I think that this is a good card for you in saying that things are going to be okay. Things are going to work out. There's going to be some conflict. It may be a bit of a rough ride. And this could have happened towards the beginning of November too. This could have been coming off of October. But I do think that things are getting better for you. And some of this may have to do with a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces male. This could be a young man. It could be a son. This could, even be a daughter. But I think it's more of a message of a romantic opportunity, more of a message of you sort of relaxing into a more playful demeanor, whereas before it seems you've been a little uptight and restricted. Some of you will definitely be thinking back to an older relationship and, wondering if you can maybe reignite those fires of passion again within an older relationship. These are great cards here for you. I actually did a reading before for Scorpio. This one is much better. The reason I decided not to publish the other one is because I had a lot of technical difficulties when I was first starting this, and Scorpio was one of the first readings that I did. And in that reading, it was talking about, really finding a way to get a handle on your finances and to create this space where you would be able to manage your finances through the security of your partner or working with your partner. Here we have the Magician card. And this is saying that a lot of things that happen in November are really up to you, Scorpio. And also in the previous reading that I did, there was a need for you to give up addictions, to give up, sort of all of this negative thought activity that was encompassing your life, and to come out of the dark and to prepare a way for the new. Jupiter is in your 12th house right now. And so with Jupiter in the 12th is all about our subconscious, it's hidden activities, secrets, mental illness. But it's also a place of spirituality. When used at its highest octave, it is a great place to connect with spirit. And it allows you to go off and be alone, to sort of be in your prayer closet and to reconnect with all of your memories and all of the things that have brought you to the point that you're at today. And it allows you to clear away the clutter out of that closet. So I think that you have done the work since I think I did the first reading. It was around October the 15th. And I think now you have really, as we're going into November, you're really finding a way to clear this clutter and to, sort of come out into the sunlight and to be able to turn a new chapter and really work hard towards making some dreams come true. And a lot of this, again, goes back to either spending time with children or, finding a place to create in that allows your inner child to be expressive. The Magician card is here saying, this is up to you. You've made it this far. You've come out of the dark, and here you are. You're into the sunlight now. And a lot of times too, right before a birthday, we sort of get this dark spell. And I think for a lot of Scorpios, that's what is going on or what may be going on when you hear this reading. But you're going to really come out of that. And I think by the end of the month, you're going to really find a way to come together with other people, and you're going to be involved in a lot of communication and really trying to turn the chapter with some career goals or with some lifestyle goals. And maybe you're working with a partner to do this. Maybe you're trying to re-solidify your financial plans for the future, or you're trying to really contemplate, what it is that really truly makes you happy. Maybe you and your partner are thinking about moving to a new location, or maybe you're just both concerned about how you're going to make a relationship work in the future, and you're sort of thinking back to the days when everything was a little brighter, a little happier, and you're able to sort of build on that foundation and move forward again in your future endeavors. Again, now see career opportunities here. And even though there are still some financial struggles here, I think that one of the biggest things that we have here is an opportunity for you to really begin this new chapter associated with your career. There's a new way to come out of all of the emotional, dark spots that you've been through. And I think that you really have to pay attention. The moon here is along the full moon line here. So I think by November 14th, you're really going to sort of have this renewed hope about the future, even though there's this sort of uncertainty about finances. And there may be some communication that you really have to move forward with in an aggressive way. You may need to do paperwork. There may be documents to file. There may be a situation within your job or career where you sort of have to stand up and be your own a lawyer, so to speak. You need to be your own voice, or maybe you're becoming that voice for someone else. The moon is a mothering influence here, but it also is a sign that sort of talks about activities that happen behind the scenes. And I do think that some of you could give in to those addictions again if you aren't careful, or into longing for what's the grass that's greener on the other side, sort of. And a lot of this is stemming from stress. It's you wanting to escape a certain matter, but you have what you need here. It's just a matter of focusing on doing the work of communication. And that is not only communication with yourself, but this is communication with other people. Of really trying to find a positive spin on everything. If you find yourself sinking back into those dark, negative thoughts, well, he did this, and this happened then, and this was terrible, and this is unforgivable, and I can't move forward. Because I know you Scorpios like to hold a grudge. And even though you fight it sometimes, you find yourself drifting back into that, spot of disappointment in your life. And it really prevents you from seeing the new things that are being offered to you. I have a lot of great friends that are Scorpios. Some people that are very close to me are Scorpios. And it's a matter of bringing you guys back up to the top. You get so immersed in sinking down to the bottom of these emotions, and then having to go off and contemplate. And then sometimes by the time you come back, there's missed opportunities, and you don't want to do that here. You're turning a page here. This is a new point in your future. This is a new point in your lifestyle. This is a new point in your career field. And the world is really your oyster here. It's a matter of you coming out of all of this stress and not allowing yourself to fall back and be a victim of your own self-undoing, I think. And, we can only control how we react to other people. And if you're reacting in a negative way to other people, you're just letting them win. Because, in the end, we're only responsible for our own happiness. And when we're on our deathbed, or we're dying, or we're able to look back over our life, we're not going to think about, Peter, Paul, and whoever who have done all of these things to us. We're going to be thinking about, what made us happy in life? Who were the people that were most important to us? What opportunities did we seize? How did we stand in the measurement of fulfilling our purpose here on earth? That's going to be what we're going to be thinking about. Those are going to be the judgment days where we're reflecting back on our life. It's not going to be about all this, remember that time when I didn't have money to, buy a new car. Remember that time I didn't have money to make my car payment. It's not about those things. Those are trials, and those are going to be chalked up. When you think about it in the grand scheme of things, you're going to think about, but I got through this hard time. You may not even remember what that hard time is. I mean, think back 10 years ago. Can you remember every bill that you had then that you may have been worried about, or every little, thing that came up that you might have been worried about? I don't think November is a month that you're going to be thinking back to as far as, oh my gosh, remember when that happened. That was so devastating, because these are good cards here, really. And what I see are minor details related to emotional turmoil that you're allowing. You have the ability here to come out of that, and not every time are we under the control of our own choices. I know a lot of times people like to say, well, every choice in life has led you to this position. Well, we do have free will, but we're not in total control here on earth. And there are things that happen that are completely out of our control. And sometimes they're through the actions of other people. Sometimes people pass away. Sometimes people come against you in a very negative, aggressive way. But all we can do is respond. I mean, in the end, you have to think, at least you're living your life. At least you are, making the choices that you can. And this month is definitely a moment where you're allowed to make your own choices, where you sort of have that freedom. The universe is letting you have that freedom to sort of design your own plan in this moment of existence. And I think that you do, finally do get a rein on your finances. I think that there is one relationship that you just aren't sure of, and this keeps coming back up over here with things changing. And, this sort of emotional outcome here, and opportunities for romance here for sure. I just want to make sure that you're not feeling trapped and thinking back to, when you might have felt like, you were the belle of the ball, or you were, the most important thing around, or you were the prettiest, or, this was fun, and now you're bored and you miss those days. I mean, we have seasons like that in life. And so if you're determining the balance of a relationship based on happier times, I would say that is important. You do want to make sure that you are using the power of joy in your life. But if you're just bored, and maybe your partner's a great person and there's nothing really happening there, that might be a time where you need to reconsider your thought processes and not fall back on that old way of thinking where you're looking for an escape method to sort of get out of there, bounce out of there for a minute, and then come back to your life. That's the substance that affairs are made out of, and that's the substance that addictions are made out of. So we don't want to involve ourselves in too much escapism. But if you do have a romantic partner coming up, say you're single and there's a romantic offer, I do feel like this person is really going to sort of sweep you off of your feet. And it's going to really remind you of some days whenever you were happier and when you were filled with joy. And I don't mean to confuse those of you who are married, and some of you may be having problems in your marriage. I think that I was only trying to say that the message here is to sort of warn you away from boredom. And if you are feeling the need to make a transition to a new relationship, you certainly don't want to bring the old baggage along with you. And I saw that this ego card here always comes up when there's this sort of sense of, one partner wants one thing and one wants another thing. You may be two very different people, and right now you both think you have the best plan. Maybe you think you both have the best plan in regard to finances, or maybe you're just not meeting eye to eye and you're both on two different wavelengths, but you've got to find a way to come back together. And I would say if that is the case, then the option here, with this Magician card, is to find that romance once again and to maybe refresh your partner's memory a little bit. If some of you are dealing with a parent, because the 7th house, which is Taurus for you, which is related along this bottom row, depicting the full moon. The 7th house is a house that not only talks about partners, but it also talks about parents. And a lot of astrologers, I don't think, would agree with that, but I have found that in any of my work and several other people that I know that I respect's work, the 7th house is always a reflection of our parents. And sometimes if you're not involved in a relationship, that energy will go toward your parents. So if you're feeling sort of this, new phase of energy and really reflecting back to your childhood, and you're able to come up with this sort of celebratory influence through reaching out to other people, then I would say maybe this is your parent sort of pushing you to reconnect with different family members. This could be spirit coming through here asking you to reconnect with different family members. I'm not sure why I got off on that, but maybe that's for one of you out there, so I'll leave it like that. But I just want to get some clarification by the full moon. So this full moon is in your partnership sector. I think that this is, there's some new opportunity that's come up, and again, one of you thinks you have a better idea than the other, and you're feeling sort of melancholy, and you're not seeing eye to eye. But I think that if you're a female, you're definitely going to get your way in the situation. I do think this is a career-related matter. So maybe you just have to move forward and really sort of be the leader in this area, and go ahead and reach out towards these financial opportunities and plant these seeds. These seeds will come into fruition, especially later on. This may not be a great amount of money that will come in from that, but it is something. And I just think that, in the end, you're going to come out with this happier home life. But I think that this money that you have going out, or this battle over money, or this career opportunity that may relate to a partner, I think there's going to be some heartache involved in it. But I think the outcome is that you're really going to feel like you're able to get your word across, and you're going to be able to have the say-so here. The Magician card is here, and this is showing you, really sort of battling out in the battle of wills to prove your point and to make something better for your family and perhaps even for your children. So back to, if this is a family-related situation, maybe you're sort of battling out over money, or you will in the future towards the end of the month. So there's going to be this new opportunity that's going to come up around November 29th that's really going to allow you to move forward with your finances. So I think that all of this battle is, not for naught. You're not just, spinning your tires here. I think there's definitely a new opportunity coming up. You have to, get real with your partner, and he or she needs to get real with you and realize that things are changing, and that you have to find a better battle plan for your finances. So Scorpio, I have one more card for you this month, and this is from the Messages from Your Animal Spirit Guides Oracle cards. So Scorpio, your animal card this month is the chimpanzee, and it says use both your intuition and your intellect to solve the problem or get answers to your question. And I think that that is certainly the case here. One other sign got this card. I think it was Leo. So this is about, you really, maybe as you're battling it out with your partner, you're really researching these opportunities to make money and, and to sort of make a change in your career or your lifestyle. And you really have to put this case forward. And if you're doing this on your own, or if this is something to do with your parent, then there is another resource that's available to you that you may be missing by getting caught up in this emotional sort of flux of energy here. And so you need to really, don the Magician, which means, the power is all up to you. The choice is up to you. You need to get rid of these ego conflicts, look towards the sunlight, look towards the future, look towards this new opportunity for home and family, and, be aggressive in bringing that joy and romance back into your life and standing up for your children. So hopefully this message has been helpful to you this month, Scorpio, and I wish you the best this month and have a happy Thanksgiving.